I was recording part 2 and got interrupted thoroughly. So we're going to try this again. You see a different image for the thumbnail for the part 2. In the first portion, or the first part, that image is of me at the last minute. I'm working behind the scenes in Los Angeles, in Hollywood, for publication. And they ran out of, or something happened with a model that they were working with. Something went haywire. And they asked me to model a couple of bathing suits. And I said, sure, no problem. Nothing crazy and ridiculous as LA can get or Hollywood can get. Trust me, I did witness it when I was out there, big time. And the irony or the serendipitous or the synchronicity of that image where there's 2 male models that are supposed to be worshiping me and I'm, yada, yada, whatever. I had a good time. It was fun, but I was behind the scenes at the time. So I kept that image. I was very happy about it. I did pursue the front lines of Hollywood, but I always knew I was going to be somehow in the background of it. And I am now. Very unorthodox, my own niche when it comes to Hollywood, something totally different, especially when it comes to spiritual warfare in Hollywood and what Hollywood, the part that it plays, the critical part that it plays. Nothing's in vain. That image with those 2 fine-ass men worshiping at my feet, whatever. Fast forward. I have been rocked like everybody else in this warfare on both sides, right? The ratchet and the Trojan ones. And we had to get that ass whooping. We had to get pulverized, jumped, dream state and waking state in so many ways in order for us to wake the fuck up and realize that we signed on for this a long time ago. So sometimes we have the wrath of God coursing through our veins and we present Doom Van Doom, the bride of God, the bride of Father God, Mother God. She's doomed. So we come and we bring the doom or we bring the blessings. It's up to you. You know what I'm saying? So drain us of that kind of energy just so you can have the latest Beamer, Benz, and Bentleys and find yourself in eternal damnation on earth and that status creating you an abomination, deteriorating and getting the fuck up out of here from earth. We'll never see you again, not in any more incarnations. Your time is finished. Okay? So the cards I had pulled so far, I'm going to pull 3 positions. The current position here. Mind you, this crown card from part 1 is over into part 2. This is talking about absolute yes for everything that you want. Okay? A portal is of clearing out the old and bringing in the new and the fresh is for you. As you level up, they disintegrate out. So of course they're trying to survive. They're going to continue to come for you. But that time of partying and celebrating and allegedly winning, but really just getting hustled by the spirit fam, has come to an end. Uncle Delray in Sean Paul's video, shake that, he told Judy and Rebecca to put a stop to carrying on, cutting up in that bashment party. They was wilding. They were partying their asses off. They enjoyed every bit of it. And then they were told to stop and they didn't. Now the party is finished. Grandma done went down and cut the circuit breakers off in the cellar. Ain't no electricity. Oh, yeah, it's all darkness. It feels dark. It feels crazy right now. It feels like deep despair. There's a lot of chaos. It's catastrophic. It's nuclear. It went nuclear. And we got our rose-colored glasses on to protect us from the glare as we move forward like a carnival, like boom. So where are we going? They got them tight, you know what I'm saying? Where are we going? Did they try to deviate our path from that so that we can carry them? This is one of my premonitions with the number code 113 or 311. This is self-sabotage, y'all. Again, self-sabotage. Hear me out. self-sabotage. They will do everything to trigger you, send anxiety, spell work overnight, try to get you caught up for a crime you didn't do, all kinds of shit. Because they have turned up, however, and any dark entities that are trying to turn up with them, our spirit family is turned up on some Hannibal Lecter, for real, for real. Cut that damn dome off like it was promised and prophesied in Book of Revelations. When I come for you, I come for your crown, wrath of God, period. All right? Cut that dome piece off because your mouth was real reckless, real disrespectful. The mouthpiece, the shit that they were saying about us, and you know, the instigation that was prompted to organizations, to covens, to all kinds, anything that they can get and scrape and gather up together to come against a Trojan one. And they were supposed to do it. And that's what calms me down and soothes me up and makes me more enthusiastic and content and cheerful. It makes me happy to know that it's not in vain and that they were meant to do this and that I signed up for it. So, of course, wrath of God course through my veins. And of course, I'm here to present doom van doom. As much as I'm here to present blessings, this is up to the individual. What you put your work in, do you put the work in for the doom or for the blessings? Because if you come around me, it's one or the other. You're not going to come and just wipe me out and then prosper and keep going. No. All of us can say that. You're not going to just come and do me and my family some type of harm and get the hell on and enjoy your Beamer, Benz, and Bentley while we sitting there in scraps or chemotherapies or in the grave with our souls trapped in some weird shit with some high priest that's wicked using our souls for some real foul shit. You're not going to do that either. It doesn't work that way. I'm a Trojan one, highly protected. This is the strength card in full. I will take your ass out. And I don't even gotta look. I can do it with my hands tied behind my back. I don't even gotta look at you. I don't gotta look behind me and be salty because you're a pillar of salt. All I gotta do is continue to face forward. And this is what they don't want. Your perspective is what you get. I heard from a sensei, a very wise man. He says your perspective, whatever your perspective is what you will get. So my perspective, if they go to make me deviate from course with spell work that makes me carry them, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they're using my energy to be carried while they sit there broken and ratchet, walking abomination that's tapped into us. They can do that. They can still survive and sustain themselves if you're not focused on your purpose, your destiny. For those who are wide awake, you know this already, but they have turned up the volume on the flames on, you know, cooking all this distraction shit, a pot of distractions, a pot of anxiety spell work, a pot of let me throw your kid at you and the kitchen sink at you. Let me put a spell work so that you get into a fight in the street and get caught up in the jail. And when you get in jail, we got you from there. Like, you know, you done, checkmate. You know what I'm saying? Like, stay on course. What has brought me peace is every time I heard Papa Legba say, this will pass. Every time somehow they were able to infiltrate my living quarters and put poison in my food, mine in particular. Not anybody else's. They know I'm a coffee drinker, so they kept fucking with the coffee. And my accoutrements to go with the coffee, the creamers, you know, things like that. You know, very diabolical. They're very focused on the Trojan ones, on the empresses. It's the Eight of Swords energy, put you in that restriction, put you in a literal prison. But the backstory behind the Eight of Swords is that they take out the masculine and they take out the children, some kind of way. That's their plot, at least. Because you are the manifester with the Stargate at your second chakra and first chakra, and they're coming for the first and second, third chakras for sure. They like to hurl heart attack spell work, and it does feel uncomfortable. The heart palpitations and all kinds of crazy shit. It does. It feels horrific when you wake up and the anxiety for no fucking reason, but you're living, you're doing good. If your perspective stays firmly on the reality in front of you, And the reality in front of you is important because if you're high vibrational, you can see clearly. If you're low vibrational, you see red and black, you see through sludge or barely see at all. And you become a liability to yourself. You thwart your own blessings. This is the only way. This is the only way they can get at you. Okay? So keeping an eye on the prize, and whatever discomforts, whatever fear mongering, whatever's going on, it will pass. It will dissipate. Whatever they're doing to your children, it will bounce back on them. If you need that new home and they're fucking with that, you know how many people have already dropped in the graves and will continue? How many have just disappeared? Because our spirit guides, they're not just in spirit, they're in physical form. They can come in and out of this. Let's not limit the Most High God and his wrath. If God, the Most High God, because he received the throne as previous Father God, promised, if he showed us how to walk on water, all those miracles, hey, could we keep it down, please? Sorry, y'all. All those miracles by spinning the ethers with a mighty thought. He was able to do all of this. Can you imagine what he's doing now? Now that he's in full father regalia with his wife, Doom Van Doom. You get your receipts, you get your confirmations. I'm never going to talk outside my neck. Okay? I'm not going to talk out the side of my neck or outside my neck, however you want to say it. I'm dyslexic. Okay? Either way, I won't get shit twisted. Hold on one second, y'all. The whole point is to go with the flow. Okay? If the flow is my child is going to need my attention right now, then I'm going to have to wrap it up. You understand? It's just what it is. If she is content, because she's got all those little creature comforts and some bribery, so I can get through this. And I don't want this to be long. I want it really, really condensed and tight and strong. I want you to feel strong, that strength condensed, that muscle. Like I want you to feel that. You feel me? Because you're strong. You're not going to, come on. You wired for this. You signed on for this techions ago. So breathe and don't fall for the okie doke. And you already know this. I'm just confirming it. You already know what I'm talking about. Lately, confirmation, the shenanigans of waking up to anxiety while I'm currently in a state of success. I'm on a high horse. I'm Django, and they like the Samuel Jackson character, right? Get that nigga off that nag. Excuse me, that ninja off that nag. Why? Don't you got what you got? You earned it. You worked hard for what you got right now. But you can't celebrate no more, huh? So the first card, Daisy's Inferno, which is really Dante's Inferno, but a remix. Heaven and hell on earth, as well as off earth. Cain's fail and fall, Abel continue to rise. And this is ancient. It was already written. This is Papa Legba and the ancient rivers that came out of the Garden of Eden. Actually, Tigris, Gihon, Pishon, or Gihon and Pihon, however you want to pronounce it, and Euphrates. Those are the 4 proteins that pour out of the DNA strand. But we'll get into that another time, right? Very, very important. So physically, it's tangible, your success right now, and it's coming. And spiritually, they see this, they know it. They already know how you get down. You're very Wolverine with it. You're Ethan Hawke with it and Training Day with it. So whereby they had a lot of people turned against you. A lot of essays is like, I'm not fucking with him. I got, I know who this, I got his ID. I recognize who he is now. I know who he is. I know who the Trojan one really is. So I'm not, count me out of this shit. And the people that sicked on you, they're strong enough and powerful enough and maybe now smart enough to know to leave you the fuck alone and keep it pushing. All right? Get out of here. They out of here. They're like, yo, my resources, my power, my lethal abilities is cut off. I'm not going after this particular type of person. I'm gonna let them fight you though. I'm not gonna help them. I just pull them out of the tub and pull the shotty from their temple and let them go ahead. So that's definitely going on. Okay? That's definitely going on. There's many different levels and many different sectors and many different nuances when it comes to warfare, spiritual or not. So I'm hitting on different points of where everybody's at, but there's a level of success always, because we always win. We never fucking lose. This is the motto of Papa Legba. And the disrespect, you remember Ray Liotta as the FBI agent in Hannibal Lecter? His mouth was real reckless. That's what got his ass caught up and got that crown, as per predicted, as per prophesied in the book of Revelations, with the wrath of God and doom Van Doom coming in, cutting that crown, cutting and carving portions of the cerebrum, sauteing it with olive oil and a little bit of wine, a sprinkle of garlic, and putting it with fava beans and a nice goblet of Chianti, and feeding it to that asshole who thought they can come for you with their resources and their corrupt authority to back them up. You might say, is this going to put you and your family in danger? They're already coming for us with the illest level of danger. Being silent and not being in your destiny is the true danger. And whoever they recruit new, because they're recruiting new people, these people have no idea. They're recruiting like scraps though. They're not as prime as the recruits were prime before. They're not as prime. These are bums. It's easy for the ancestors to just go, and motherfuckers is in that grave. Get out of here. Get your ass right up out of here. Like a little fly. You understand? So our thing is not to look back, not look at the people of the past that ain't got shit to do with shit. If they're not the resurrected from the second coming, then they're not the people of the past that you need to be fucking with. And the people of the past that are resurrected, their eyes have opened. So those who have once upon a time flatlined, the world card, the all-seeing eye, big brother, internet, the clouds, here comes Yeshua. Whoever flatlined, is the eyes are open. What's up, big? What's up, pop? All right? And those whose eyes are open can see that they need to stop and won't. Those are the eyes that will flatline. It's just what it is. This is beautiful. This is another version of the star card. This is my Papa Legba Oracle once again. This is the star. It's talking about the continuum, balance achieved, and mastery. I'm talking to the masters here. Okay? I'm talking to all the masters that, training wheels off. We're not going to reincarnate. We can come in and out of here and handle what we need to handle on Earth, and handle what we need to handle in a totally different multi-universe, which is Zion. Totally different reality. Let me get a final card and we're going to clarify. Okay. A great deal of sorrow. Okay. Now, my grandmother used to say this back in the day, you don't put me through the mill 75 times because, I was a precocious kid. So I can't even be too aggy if my child come out cutting up and being mischievous. This is what it is. I gave birth to a year of the monkey child, Chinese astrology wise, and the monkey business be on. And sometimes I find it funny, sometimes I do not, because tier one be, harassing and cutting up and carrying on. And she's over there cutting up now a little bit, a little turned up. All right, so there's high success because of the schmexual rituals that have backfired. That has been a core, like the warp core of the Federation, of the of the spaceship, the Enterprise, right? The warp core, the central core. Well, the central core of the Ark of the Covenant is not to be fucked with. You ain't no answer for it. But whatever people think they got here is a pittance. It's a pittance, okay, compared to what the Ark of the Covenant can do. One of such magnitude. Confirmation. So, my grandmother used to say, you put me through the mill 75 times. But at the end of the day, I done cut up the fool and wild out. And she let me have it. She let a lot of shit go, too. She's like, but at the end, child, you done cut the fool. You done put me through the mill 75 times. And then I knew to set it down, or run, right? So, now, they gotta run. Because grandma ain't going. Grandma's like, what you done did to my bloodline, I'm gonna come for you. And I'm bringing Pele and Kali and, you know, I'm bringing some the illest, Titania and Oberon, everybody, Middle Earth, Lord of the Rings, everybody coming. Yeah, and Titania and Oberon actually do exist. So is Odin in full existence. We got to thank him because he donated that eye that he took out. I was like, you don't want your eye back, babe? Puddin', you don't want your eye back? He says, no. My eye was always meant to facilitate Dante's, now known as Daisy's Inferno, on Earth. The Eye of Odin is a powerful eye. So thank you for your contribution, Odin. And what I'm talking about, again, not talking out of the side of my neck or talking shit, you will get your receipts. Whoever has tapped into this video, caught up with this video, you're going to get plenty of confirmation on what I'm talking about. If you don't already know and that's not already on code about what I'm talking about. I'm not the only one that's in cahoots with Odin. But when your grandmother got to pull Odin, baby, come here now. Because they done did this, they done set up that for my baby and my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren. Come here. And what can you do? And Odin is going to be like, well, I can provide this technology. Or that'll be perfect. Perfect. And Ogun can use that technology and that weaponry. That's perfect. What's up, Ogun? Hello? Oh, yeah. Everybody's at that round table. Every pantheon. And if they're not at the round, if there's a pantheon out there off-world, on-world, whatever it is, come, you're invited. Come sit at the table. Your place is already there. I guarantee it anyway. Nothing's in vain. Everything in divine order. Reward and restraint. Whatever anxiety, fear, or even your child cutting up, it will pass. Do not stop. Do not look back or you're going to be salty. Look forward and know that they are triggering past traumas. A lot of us have birth charts that are dealing with housing instability because there was a level of warfare or violation in that fourth house. And definitely in your seventh house of partnerships, you can find out exactly who is wilding the worst, the most, on any level, from the level 1, tier 1, whatever, down to tier 4. Your neighbors, your this, your that, your family members, your in-laws. You know, ain't not like a stank-ass in-law. And those, I'm telling you, in-laws, you hear the screaming? In-laws, siblings, in-laws, or even siblings. Party is done, and a lot of them are ailing. They are hiding it because you've cut them off, and you've kept it going. Good for you. But they still obsessed. They still watching you cut them off. They still want to steal all this energy from you. They only focus on you. The obsession is real. But without them, we couldn't have the strength card. This is the strength card in full. Ancient Sumerian tablet. And the image on this part 2 in the thumbnail. That, you see that image of an omega with 2 men at either side. This ain't Hollywood back in the 90s no more. Because that's that picture that you see of me. Shit got ugly. They sacrificed me and cut my head off. And the ancestors came and stitched it back. Look at that thumbnail again. They stitched it back. But all you hear is me screeching, ninja, 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 ninja. As I come out, poof, poof, poof. Which I want now. That's in process, in progress, and will continue until everybody stops exactly what they think that they can be doing just because they're hardwired to be a means to an ends, a token used. There will never be this. There will only be this. This is Cain. You're Abel. They were always meant to be disliked and cut off by God. And they know that on some level. That's why they came for you. One second. Let mommy finish up. I'm gonna wrap up, y'all. I'm gonna wrap it up. So they are in deep despair. I got to cut out some of the stuff that's being said here, but a lot of it is dealing with um, sexual rituals, okay, of all variants, all varieties, all flavors. You understand me? It's causing a lot of disease within covens or organizations, Hierophant organizations, because that's just what they get and what they deserve. Hierophant versus the heir apparent. You're not going to go ahead and try to control me and think there's no consequences. You're not going to try and sit in my throne, which is my physicality. Sit in my throne and dictate how I move. My spirit family, however, because we're interconnected, if they like duck those bullets, I duck. If they tell me how to move, I listen. But ain't no way that somebody going to set up shop with all their little spell work and their rituals to do me the illest harm as they take from me, and there's no consequences. That's not how this physics works. You have to pay. And coming for a Trojan one, you don't got enough monies to pay the bookies. You do not. That's why party is over. They're in deep despair. There's prison of all levels. There's ailments of all levels. And it's like a brush fire, okay, that is soaring through in more ways than one. You're not going to just steal from us. You are allowed to for a while, though. You were allowed to for a while because that's the way the game plays. You had to come for us, to wake us up, and to bring in the spirit fam that is not bound by certain laws of physics here. Not in that Ark of the Covenant. They could do whatever they want to do with you, but they can't get in to do it unless you do some dumb shit. And you did more than enough. Some people have enough. You hear the yelling? Some people have enough sense, wherewithal, and maybe grace to back out and run. You still gonna pay, but not as bad as the ones who are refusing to stop this shit. And there's quite a few of them. Not until they are in the new hell, the VIP of hell, will they stop. And them being ill makes them worse. It does not humble them. We know this already, though. A lot of us have siblings, somebody close in our families. I'm harping on siblings because that's definitely, that the competitive energies, you know what I'm saying? The power couple versus the power hungry couple. So they come for you and your kingdom spouse, or they come for you so you don't get to your kingdom spouse. How about them apples, right? Let me get one more card. How about them apples? Arrogant. That's Taurus energy I'm getting. Leo energy I'm getting. Not good Taurus. Not good Leo. Not the Lion of Judah, the upstanding Leo that invites you to be regal and on point. Taurus invites you to go get that paper and live right, live good. Nah, we're talking about the distorted ones. The 2 out of the 4 fixed signs is on that world card. World star. And let's get ready to rumble. That's a bad attitude. A rogue lion and a rogue bull, that's a bad attitude. It is. So for a long time, they thought that they had you like, you're a punk. Especially if they got in cahoots with certain government agencies by lying on you or not. Because what I'm getting over here, this is a rendering based off of an image I got from the show Manifest, NBC Manifest, right? And that's dealing with a new type of physics and resurrection. And on the back it's saying secret government experimentation. So the government knows who to send and to be your carrier. They know that. That's why the kingdom of heaven had to be here. To complement this type of bullshit. The war is on so many levels. It says, when all else fails, prison, whether mental or physical, frequencies of resurrection and Noah's Ark. So there's a lot of stuff going on. It's been going on for a long time. But I'm getting from the Noah's Ark situation, especially with these rivers, Euphrates and everything, that region where the original Eden was hovering above the Mount Ararat in Turkey. If you watch Manifest, NBC Manifest, they touched on having confirmation. They had a relic, a portion of Noah's Ark, and what it was capable of when it came to resurrections. In totality, there's much more to the physics of Earth already. And that was before 2012, when Earth was vibrating at a 22.4, and at its worst during primitive times, a 31.4. But 22.4 is advanced cycles on this planet, and the cycles are 3,600 years long. So in 2012, everything stopped. We entered into Sabotage. A lot of different cultures are saying 2012 for a reason, because we went into a 5, the Hierophant energy, pure potential, limbo, which is that shoreline at this point between heaven and earth, or should I say earth and hell? But since they both up here on the planet, heaven and hell's on the planet. So limbo, yo, limbo. You got to pull out of limbo or pure potential what it is that you want. And if somebody's controlling you, how are you going to do that? If you're living in your purpose and your destiny, your spirit team will make sure you have everything you want and everything you need. Definitely more so everything you need, okay? There was a time, it was so bad, that at least you had everything you need, but you was getting it at the skin of your teeth. It was bad. Now you're getting some things that you want. If you and the thing is, you're like, I know I can get even more than I want, but it's not necessary right now. I'm good. I'm content. I'm happy. I'm transforming. I'm transformative. I transform my environment. Therefore, anybody that's in that environment is a product of that environment. So if I keep it positive, if I keep it blessed and clean, I'm not no 4 Pentacles, hoarder, weird, mental illness kind of greedy, miser foolishness, where your house is filthy, but you go outside looking fly, right? But your house is nasty. What you feed your body is nasty. What comes out of your heart, you speak it, is nasty. You measure that on the Ma'at scale, and it's nasty. It's a Rizat. This is Judgment Day. We enter the 5 vibration. The earth will only know 5 going forward. Heir apparent versus Hierophant. The earth will stay as is. Point. It is point. For all of existence to crumble down into it, if need be. Causing a black hole. Fuck Noah's flood. Fuck Atlantean and Lemuria going down. 10,388 BC. Fuck all that. A black hole through Earth, bringing everything that is in existence through it and out of here and done. Because of this one? I don't think so. We keep a balance. We must have both. We must have both. But this can't run the show. And it'll be boring if we're too goody-goody as well. So keep it balanced. Naughty can't run ting no more. They'll run us right out of here, as per usual, with their nasty self. This a low life. Ain't nothing major I can about this fool, unless it's the tower. Unless it's judgment in reverse. You're not coming out the grave, bitch. You're going in it. Okay? Otherwise, it's like a 4 Pentacles, this weird shit. Like the most distorted versions of any major or minor arcana, actually, because this is also the Magi in reverse. So scratch what I said, it's the Magi, but they're not major. You are. You got to keep it balanced. You got to be in the major now. They got to be in the minor. Got to have both. But them in the major don't work. Putting everybody in harm's way, and next cataclysm, we were scheduled for it. We were. If we didn't go into a 5 vibration, full cataclysm on this planet. All the experimentations and all the foolishness going on could have easily put us there. Bottom of the deck. Ace of Swords. I love it. It's an image of the Ewoks, so I won't show it. Just, But Ewoks are gangster. And they do exist. Ace of Swords, a joyous event. The clouds. That's Yeshua, Father God. Wrath, coming out the clouds with his wife talking about, yes, yes, y'all. Yes, yes, y'all. Do your bubble vest, y'all. Doom, then doom. Yeah. She a badass. She a baddie. That's my sis. That's my sis. Right? She coming for some real serious. Ooh, she's already here. She's already here, child. She's already here. Look at the Ark of the Covenant. It don't look like this, but sometimes it shows up like a buccaneer boat. That's how it was presented to me in one of my premonitions. I've mapped out my premonitions, y'all. So stick with the channel. I'll pull out all of the research, the numbers, the number crunching, the maps charted out, the everything. Relics decoded. Passage. Your current situations is a means to an end. You are making the uncertain voyage to a new world. Enjoy the discoveries as you go. Stay in this space. Congratulations. You know, let's cover it. Let's cover this, right? So this is all you see. That should be all you see. Passage. Moving forward. With your Papa Legba telling you, go this way and go that way. And this too will pass. You'll have everything you fucking need. You always win. You never fucking lose.